About 90 minutes ago, we witnessed the start of a heated face-off between former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris. The last 2024 debate, probably, and it was a debate that pulled no punches.
Do you veto a national abortion ban if it
Well, I won't have to, because, again, two things. Number one, she said she'll go back to Congress. She'll never get the vote. It's impossible for her to get the vote, especially now with the 50-50, essentially 50-50 in both Senate and the House. She's not going to get the vote. She can't get the vote. She won't even come close to it. So it's just talk. You know what it reminds me of? When they said they're going to get student loans terminated, and it ended up being a total catastrophe. The student loans, and then her, I think probably her boss, if you call him a boss, he spends all his time on the beach. But look, her boss went out and said, we'll do it again. We'll do it a different way. And he went out, got rejected again by the Supreme Court. So all these students got taunted with this whole thing about this whole idea.
Pulled that plug about the student loans. Now, when we were watching this on our little group chat, we did say Trump got the first little lick in. Scale of 1 to 10. How does that look back on the rest of the night? Does it seem like it mattered much or no?
That wasn't his lick.
Okay, I mean, it was the first lick. It was the first one. The first.
He started off by saying, like,
first one.
Yeah, but I'm saying he did terrible with that, because he started off because he was like, the student loan stuff, and then he said, but I don't agree with it anyway, because people should have paid their own stuff. He messed it up. He messed his own lick up.
He was talking over himself a lot tonight. But one part where he didn't talk over himself was when Kamala started talking over him.
In Minnesota, she went out. Wait a minute, I'm talking now. If you don't mind, please. Does that sound familiar?
Don't lie.
She went out.
Don't lie.
That was a lick right there. That was a lick right there.
With the liggery.
They told him he had to go and get one back for the party.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then he just started spewing like craziness, talking about people eating dogs and the cats.
Said people start leaving. People don't go to her rallies. There's no reason to go. And the people that do go, she's bussing them in and paying them to be there, and then showing them in a different light. So she can't talk about that. People don't leave my rallies. We have the biggest rallies, the most incredible rallies in the history of politics. That's because people want to take their country back. Our country is being lost. We're a failing nation. And it happened 3.5 years ago. And what's going on here, you're going to end up in World War III, just to go into another subject. What they have done to our country by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country.
I didn't show the end back then. She said, a little extreme, right? Because what are you talking about? She gagged when he said the whole dog thing. That was surprising. No? That moment of the night to you guys? I feel like that was kind of moment of the night for me.
Like, that needs to be on t-shirts. They're eating the cats and the dogs. Like, that's what?
Like, what are you talking about?
We went from it's raining cats and dogs to they're eating the cats and
they're
dogs.
Eating, and whole communities are eating the pets. Like, what? And
then they said, where'd you get that information from? Where'd you find that out from? He says, TV. I saw it on the television.
The lady on the television.
Okay.
It's hilarious, the transition, because the first election, they're bringing guns, they're bringing drugs, they're raping our women, and now they're eating your cats and dogs. Like, that's an extreme jump. These people, I guess they do got to go. They're doing a lot.
Eating the cats and the dogs. Then he also decided to flex on his, Teflon Donist.
I probably took a bullet to the head because of the things that they say about me. They talk about democracy. I'm a threat to democracy. They're the threat to democracy with a fake Russia investigation.
We do have a lot
that went nowhere.
We have a lot to get to. Lindsay?
Vice President Harris.
I mean, and for one, the Democrats, she lost a little lick right there, because she should have said, they didn't try to kill us.
It's weird because like I would want to explore that more, so I can say like, how is their ear doing? Because like there's no scars. There's like it's like you grew a brand new ear, and I would really want to spend some time on that. But she did well by just ignoring it.
Yeah, I think ignoring it was probably the best that situation she can make out of it.
Yeah, you can't like we can because we're who we are, but you can't get into that.
We are not mainstream. Okay, we're not the major leagues like a Roland Martin. This lady left a comment on our videos, guys, on YouTube, and told us you guys are great and everything, but you're not the big leagues like Roland Martin. I said, what? I laughed for hours. It was hilarious to me.
So, and we do appreciate you for watching that. We really do.
But we're not the big leagues. We're not the like
not Roland yet. But if you share our post and you like it and you subscribe to it, you tell your friends about it, we'll be there one day.
We'll be major, you know. No offense to Roland Martin, I guess. And last but not least, Kamala Harris had this to say about how she sees Donald Trump.
Donald Trump was fired by 81 million people. So let's be clear about that. And clearly he is having a very difficult time processing that. But we cannot afford to have a president of the United States who attempts, as he did in the past, to upend the will of the voters in a free and fair election.
All right. So who won the debate?
Is that a real question?
I have to ask. I mean, this is officially a nonpartisan
rally, and she mentioned him being fired. He about had a stroke on that TV twice.
He did.
His love letters to Putin. I think the American people, if you're not a Donald Trump supporter, won that debate tonight. Actually, even if you are a Trump supporter, you won the debate tonight because it was very funny. And I know that we aren't supposed to be entertained by this because it's pretty serious, whatever. But like, I was entertained. I mean, I already know who I'm voting for. So, I mean, like, I can laugh at this point. I'm good.
So you don't think any undecided voters, Ty, were swayed by any portion of this debate?
So that's the thing. I was like, as I'm watching the debate, I'm like, Donald Trump had an opportunity to spread the craziness that Donald Trump has always spread, and his supporters all believe. And he had an opportunity to get some of those out, and they tried to check some of it, but he got a lot of it out unchecked, sort of, kind of, or at least he got it out right before a transition or something. And so
she caught him a couple of times, especially with that comment that he made towards the end about the fracking and stuff.
He's allowed now to say these crazy things. His people believe those crazy things. He got him out during debate. So I think from the perspective of his supporters, he won the debate because he got to say the things. She obviously won the debate for anybody who cares about the actual standard for winning debates. But I think from the perspective of his supporters, he did very well getting those nutty statements out there that they all believe. You know, you stole the election. He even kind of got to deny January 6th, right? He blamed on Nancy Pelosi, which I don't think I've heard that before. I think that's the first time I heard him.
That was a new one.
And also, though, with the election denying stuff, it's weird because, like, there are people who would say, like, Donald Trump never lost the election because that's what he said. And today he walked that back. He said I was being sarcastic. So, like, I do think a lot of the things he says that are nutty that people were running with, like, he doubled.
I took him saying that he didn't win as being sarcastic. He walked back the statement where he said, like, they're saying he finally admitted to losing the election. Right. He said he was being sarcastic then, meaning today he said, no, I absolutely did not.
I didn't. Oh, wow.
He walked back that statement and said they stole the election.
Because David Muir came back and said, I didn't notice that sarcasm when I watched it back. He made a point to say that afterwards, and I thought that was pretty funny.
That is crazy. I did not realize that's what he meant.
Bill, do you think Kamala stole any of the independent voters that were leaning Trump by her performance tonight? She was very coherent. She had a clear strategy to talk about how she's looking to uplift the country versus what Donald Trump looks to do. So she made a lot of differences between them as candidates. Do you think she won over anybody?
Here's the thing. I don't think anybody is winning over anybody at this point. We have come to a place of vitriol in American politics. It is very my side, your side, and I'm not saying that Trump supporters are necessarily racist, but they have decided that they're okay with a racist, elitist, and they're okay with a fascist, an oligarch, and there is absolutely not. The man got on television and said that if you shine UV rays into your body, it would kill a virus. He then tonight got on television and said that groups of people are eating cats and
The
dogs,
dogs.
and the television told him so.
He also said he did a really good job with handling COVID too, with the pandemic. He said he did a good job with that, which is crazy.
It's revisionist history.
He wouldn't change anything with January 6th.
Yeah, like we were there, we saw this stuff.
In fact, I think he hinted at he would do it all over again.
Yeah, he said I was invited to speak. They signed the papers.
So I mean, the people that are going to vote for him are going to vote for him. They only have the sense God gave a pan of dishwater anyway, and the people that are going to vote for her are going to vote for her anyway. And the people that fall down the middle are going to be like pumping through the streets like, I don't vote. Like, okay, relax.